MS-DOS, short for Microsoft Disk Operating System, is one of the most successful operating systems that have been developed to date. It was the real revolution in programming despite its small size and relative simplicity. It debuted back in 1981 and probably didn't seem like a promising platform for gaming. But from roughly 1981 to 1997, publishers released thousands of games from every genre for the PC and its text-based operating system. I grew up playing the Famicom and NES, and those were some great gaming experiences, but back in late 95, we'd often head over to my cousins where I'd play some MS-DOS games on their PCs, taking turns and often arguing about who's the better player. It wasn't until late 97 when we first got our own home PC, back when you'd have to listen to these sounds trying to connect to the internet. And using the home line, so no one could reach you at home, well, for those that had telephone line. And those days of Minesweeper, Solitaire, saving up and buying games, cool screensavers, trading floppy disks, using Encarta for school projects, and oh yeah, people going on and on about the Y2K bug. Now I'm sure most gamers during this time would agree. PC gaming picked up and MS-DOS was definitely part of that success story. So I've selected 15 of my favorite DOS games growing up. Just simple but memorable titles that left an everlasting mark and helped define me as a gamer. First up, I've got Doom 2. Now this game was for sure the perfect package, offering more levels and an assortment of weapons to fight off the legions of hell, most notably the double-barreled shotgun. I was too young to play this game when it first launched, but got introduced to it in the late 90s. I was about 9 back then, but still remember being so immersed by the game's atmosphere, the enemies and running away from the spider mastermind. Yes, a true classic. For second place, Sky Roads. I remember back in grade 7, we would always play this game in computer class, copied it over on a floppy disk and installed it on my computer. What a fun, fast-paced action game where you must steer your spaceship through a track of floating panels, tunnels and obstacles. This game also added another level of challenge through special panels, providing fuel, speed or explosion. The gameplay was balanced, challenging but not too frustrating. A game I still remember fondly. And getting on with this lesson, at my number 3, Disney's The Lion King surely brought the challenge. This 2D platformer offered fun, but yes, challenging gameplay. The name of the game was mostly perseverance, and I guess skill. You start off as young Simba, where you'd be flung around by monkeys, riding ostriches, flee a stampede, catch bugs with Timon and Pumbaa, and soon transition into adult Simba, where you'd be squaring off with the one and only Scar. Now I bet you recognize this game. Yeah, Theme Hospital sitting in at number 4. This game definitely holds it down, offering a solid and simple environment design, which is still relatively easy to look at today. You play as a manager who oversees a team of hospitals with the goal of working yourself up the chain to earn that dollar. Okay, this game has no clear story, it's just simply tasked with ensuring the profitability and reputation of each job you're assigned to. Just a rarity in the modern gaming landscape, and still a fun game, focus on that micromanagement gameplay, building up a hospital with your liking, with a few funny quirks along the way. You should definitely check this title out if you get the chance. So for number 5, I've got The Incredible Machine 2. Somewhat forgotten game. Its first sequel in the Incredible Machine franchise added new puzzles, parts, and a new interface. I remember playing this game back in 2000 and spending hours trying to figure out some of its puzzles, especially the editor mode, which allowed you to create your own puzzles. It's one of those games that requires strategy and creative problem solving. This one is highly recommended for gamers, young and old. At number 6, I've got Big Red Racing. Now this was a game you definitely want to get into if you were into arcade racing games with multiplayer support. I remember playing this game back in 1997, that quirky art style commentaries, complete with its MTV style soundtrack, made for a fun interactive racing game that offered fast driving in a 3D environment with the most awesome range of vehicles. I'll never forget this one. Yes, it did age poorly, but I'd still give this one a shot, for the sake of nostalgia. Creeping up to number 7, I've got Horde. This somewhat forgotten action strategy game will keep you busy for hours. Armed with only a sword, your sole mission is to protect your village from those pesky hordelings. Always attack your village and try and eat everything they find. If you survive an attack wave, you get rewarded with better weapons and also being able to expand your village. I remember planning my town and using real-time action elements to fight the horde off. Just truly a memorable gaming experience, and one I recently rediscovered. And for the 8th spot, I got Prince of Persia. Back when I'd be taking turns playing this game at my cousin's house, on one of those old IBM PC compatible computers. I remember being taken by the animation movements and dungeons you had to get through. This game was challenging for me as a kid and still is. And though I died many times, I still have many fond memories playing this one. Duke Nukem 3D was the first-person shooter I played, and man, I was hooked. This is why I had to include this one at number 9. I remember moving through the 3D spaces, the ammo locations, every enemy spawn, the music, red light district, and strippers. Oh yeah, I'd smash the game every Friday afternoon after school, where me and my friends would take turns trying to beat each level. This is what gaming was about. It was just a fun and memorable game, and one I still play to this day.
Hail to the king, baby.
The DOS era, gaming in the 90s, nostalgia, well, Hocus Pocus always played a big role and still stands as one of my childhood favorites. Sitting in at number 10, you explore whimsical areas, killing monsters, collecting globes, and encountering many magic potions on your way. Some of the potions will restore health, others will grant special powers such as super jump, will allow you access to new areas. A charming 2D platformer and still one of my childhood classics. Now heading on with this list, and a game that had to be included is none other than Jackrabbit, coming in at number 11. This high-speed action platform game was the PC world's answer to Sonic the Hedgehog, where you play as Jazz on a quest to rescue the rabbit princess Eva Earlong, where you travel through different planets, gather clues regarding her whereabouts, acquiring different weapons, various power-ups, and eventually face off against that Turtle Devon. This game will guarantee to take you back a couple of years, all in the while treating you to some great gameplay and a cool soundtrack. At number 12, Wolfenstein 3D. Now look, this game was a classic. Even after 28 years, I still often find myself playing this one. It's easy to look at Wolfenstein 3D and smile. Both the ceiling and floor was one solid color. That repetitive blocky textures, but man, the gameplay was nonetheless exciting and fun. I played this game so much growing up, heading over to my cousins, playing it on one of those Intel 486, and again, just a cool game and worth checking out and replaying again. For my number 13, Warcraft 2 Tides of Darkness still stands out with its pixeled but detailed visuals, the great campaign and scenario modes, and a pretty cool feature for back then when you'd select the characters and how they talk back to you as a player. The comic style of this features, RTS gameplay, and random map. For that time, well, that made for some great gaming experiences.
We are under attack. Aye, Captain.
Lord Lothar, ready to work.
Long before that deadly game of chess in Harry Potter, we had Battle Chess. Yes, I had to place this one at my number 14, and for good reason. This game was cool, even for a chess game. It inspired many to want to understand and play chess more. Just a truly creative concept. Because see, in Battle Chess, you get to watch small in-game 3D animations as your pieces get into battles, taking each other down. Man, this was sharp for back then. Look, I've spent many hours playing this game, and if you were like me and you enjoyed playing DOS games growing up, I know you most probably also did. So consider checking this one out again. The last game on this list, and for my number 15, would come as no surprise. Yes, Quake was innovative for its time and offered excellent gameplay. I was taken by the exploration, enemies, and arsenal of weapons you could choose from, but for me, nothing could beat that good old axe. Quake set the series off, and I still remember the different levels, from that sci-fi military installations to working your way through castles and dungeons. Just a memorable gaming experience and a good title to end with. So what are your thoughts on these games? Do you remember some of them? Which was your favorite? Sound off in the comments below. Don't forget to like if you did find this video interesting. Consider subscribing for all future uploads. Thanks again for all the support. Till next time, see ya.